You're listening to WooSox Insider, presented by your Worcester Red Sox.
Welcome back to WooSox Insider. We are in the midst of a much-needed 2-week road trip. So the team is currently away at the ballpark, at Polar Park. We still have events and everything going on. But for us and a lot of the game day staff, front office staff, this is a much-needed little break for us. Two of the important front office staff are with us today, us being myself, Brendan Black, and Dave Leonardi. Once again, the newly graduated Dave Leonardi. Congratulations. Just a tap, tap, tap.
And newly graduated Jordan. Let's not forget.
So with us today is George and Jordan from the front office. We have the coordinator of marketing and WooSox Rewards, Jordan, and the coordinator of marketing and fan engagement, George. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
Doing great. Glad to be here. Glad to have some time off, but still busy and hard at work.
Yeah, you put it best, man. Like, having this 2-week break, it's like heaven on earth. But, you know, the work still continues behind the scenes, but, yeah, well needed.
So let's start with it. So you both are considered coordinators of marketing, and if anyone knows about the WooSox is it's a nonstop marketing onslaught that we do here. And because of the nature of our schedule and that when the team is away, they're away for at least 6 games. Right now they're away for 12 games. That leaves a lot of time in between homestands and stuff. So just run us through what a normal off week would be like for you guys. And George laughs.
So like George already has an answer in his head.
Normal might not be the correct word, but we'll start. George, let me know what is your what's an off week like?
What I want to say is, catching up on sleep, doing some other things outside. But if I had to pick one word, is meetings. Lots and lots of meetings. Because, communication to us is important. So, of course, on off weeks, we're meeting to discuss what's going on for the next homestand, what's going on for, long-term plans deeper into the season, look back at things that happened in, previous homestands, fan feedback, things of that nature to see, improvements that we can make because we're always striving to be better. But, we have so much going on, not just from a baseball standpoint, but from a, non-baseball standpoint, Polar Park events, community efforts, regionalization, WooSox Rewards. We're always doing something. And, it's important for us during the off weeks to be able to do those things because we're always talking about how, we're more than a ballpark. That's our goal, right? The baseball is important, but we want to be present in the city, in the region, all around Central Mass. So on off weeks, it gives us a chance to, take a break from baseball, but also make a connection in the community. So there's a lot of meetings, and it could be a little bit tiresome at times, maybe not as tiring as the actual homestand itself. But, it's because we have an important message here that we all believe in.
Now, I was wondering if you could go just a little bit into and explain what is regionalization, because I know people all over Worcester County and the broader, area of Massachusetts have probably been visited by Smiley Ball in Worcester, some kind of appearance. I was wondering if you just go into just more how is there, what that focus really is on our side of things.
Yep. So to put it in the most simplest terms that I can, regionalization is basically what are the WooSox doing outside of Worcester, right? Well, Worcester is our home, and we do a lot in the city, but what are we doing to connect with the towns outside of Central Mass? That could be the towns that are right next door, like towns like Millbury, Auburn, Shrewsbury, but also all those towns that might be an hour away in the Boston area or in Springfield or, on the east side. Basically, our goal is to have a connection with every single town outside of Central Mass. We have a graphic we have a map in our front office space that shows kind of our marketing territory, and it extends all throughout almost all of Massachusetts, and it goes into New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Basically, we see those those states, those towns, as the biggest opportunity for us to connect with people. Not just to get them to potentially come to Polar Park for games, but just to, have a connection in their lives. So regionalization includes, mascot visits by Smiley, Worcester, and Roberto, WooSox staff going to different events and tabling just to tell people about different stuff happening at the ballpark. Town meetings with different business leaders, and one of the biggest highlights of our regionalization efforts is like our town takeover program. We have 24 town takeovers a year where we get to spotlight different towns, and our pregame ceremonies and our in-game promotions center on people from those towns. And it's really cool to be able to say a certain night belongs to a certain town. Like, for example, this past homestand, we had Natick Night last Friday, and they had over 800 people here at the ballpark, which is the record so far for a town takeover night. And it's really cool because I get to spearhead those efforts, and it's really cool to be able to connect and meet so many cool people from different towns. Because with regionalization, it's not something that you just want to focus on for this year. It's something that you want to focus on so that 20, 30 years from now, no matter if we're still here or whoever is still working in the front office at that time, whatever direction this ball club goes in, you establish those roots now so that it's sustainable for years and years to come, and those towns continue to have that impact with the WooSox.
Yeah, and that's one of those kind of cool things about the Worcester Red Sox here is that, again, you said it right. We are the Worcester Red Sox. It's 508 is the area code, but 508 isn't just Worcester. 508 is a lot of different towns and areas around. And also you got to think about for a diehard Red Sox fan living in Springfield, it's a lot easier, a lot more manageable for them to come to Worcester rather than double that trip and go to Boston. And then you add on top of that just, the parking and finding out, when you're going to get to the park, if you're going to hit the traffic, if you're going to do all that stuff. So I think it's a really incredible thing what we've done here and trying to bring in, especially, Western Mass is one of those parts that we diehard Red Sox fans out there as well. So I think that's a really cool thing. And like you brought up the town takeover, that whole program I think is really taking off this year. I mean, Natick set up their own train system. They spoke with the MBTA and made sure that they could have a late train so that they could watch the fireworks and still get right back to Natick in an easy manner. And we had our golf carts bringing people to Union Station to be able to get there. The Blue Woo. So there's a ton of different aspects to the WooSox that I think are really showing off how much we're trying to bring in different communities. Now, with that, another thing is just trying to get people to, come back and also have like a different experience during the game, which I think is one of the really cool things with WooSox Rewards, Jordan, is if you've been to a game, we have pop-up for points. We bring a contestant onto the field, and they get to 3 chances at catching a ball. One is thrown, one is slingshot, one is shot out of the T-shirt cannon from Worcester, and that allows you to win a certain amount of points for WooSox Rewards. So, Jordan, just give me a little rundown of what WooSox Rewards is and why a fan should take advantage of it.
Yeah, so WooSox Rewards is the team's newest fan loyalty program, and
bigger, bolder,
better, and Bafo fan loyalty program. That's rolled over our Worcester Red Sox Booster Club, our Woo U student loyalty programs, and our Woo Crew kid loyalty program, all into one all-encompassing fan loyalty initiative that looks to give them different experiences that you can't necessarily buy with cash. And what that entails is getting different prizes that you can redeem, that points that you've earned for coming from the ballpark and spending your money at the concession stands and at our team store. So, for example, if you spend $20 at the home plate bar, you get 20 points back. 20 points back in WooSox Rewards points, and it's been a fun experience to see these fans get involved in, trying to challenge their friends to earn more points with them than them, and just coming in and seeing how they light up when they say, "Oh my gosh, I just earned 40 points for checking into the ballpark." So it's fun to see that, and yeah.
Yeah, and so if you come to a WooSox game, if you're here early enough, Ben DeCastro does all of our pregame reads, and during our pregame reads, it's a lot of information for fans to take in, but what we're trying to do is essentially show you all the different things that you can do around the ballpark and different ways that fans can interact, and one of those is the WooSox Rewards, and we put our QR code up there so you're able to scan it, you're able to go download it, but like you said, if you're going to a WooSox game, there's no reason for you not to have that rewards program and that app downloaded, because you go to the game, you've already purchased your ticket, you're coming to watch the game. Why not just check in when you show up to the park? So when Jordan says check in, you're literally, once you're within the walls of Polar Park, you can go into your app, check in, boom. You immediately get 20 points, 40 points, whatever it is that day. And then on top of that, pop up for points. If that contestant catches 1, everyone in the ballpark gets 1 point. If he catches 2, everyone gets 5. If he catches 3, everyone gets 10. And then you start adding all those different things up around the ballpark, whether or not you're, buying something from the team store, or you're, buying concessions and all those type of things. And all it's doing is, you're getting something back every single time that you're purchasing something. So one of the things you'll note if you listen to Ben DeCastro, he says that one of the rewards, you could even win a trip down to spring training.
Yep.
So walk me through this. So obviously I know it's going to take a little bit of, you might need to be at every home game. You might need to be, really racking up those points. But you're telling me that through the app and through being a WooSox fan and a dedicated fan, that you potentially could win a trip to spring training. You could potentially, well, that's on the bigger side. On the other side, it's just like, yeah, you know what? You get a free ice cream because I have X amount of points in there, which is not a really hard thing to attain. So
It's buying a lot of tacos and tequilas.
there we go. There we go.
That's a vibe.
Exactly, yeah.
So obviously, spring training's at the top of it. Give me some of those, I guess, more attainable prizes in the middle that some fans might not know about.
Yeah. We could start all the way at the lower point values. Our food items are pretty popular right now within the fans. Cotton candy, ice cream, nachos, chicken tenders, cheeseburgers, all within 250 to 150 points. So fans that's just a couple games. You come to a couple games during the homestand, you buy a sweater, and you get a beer, and there you go. You have free ice cream next time you come to the park. So that's really cool. And then moving up more, we have one of our more popular prizes is a team store gift card. It's a $100 shopping spree in the team store, and that's worth 5,000 points. So as I mentioned, all fans have rolled over from previous years. And you probably have points already from coming to Paw Sox games and coming to our games from 2021 and 22. And that's cost 5,000 points. So that one's been really popular as well. And then a lot of the ones, once you get to 5,000 and above, are more experiential, and that's goes back to my point about getting things that you cannot purchase with cash, whether that be singing Sweet Caroline on top of the dugout, or one of our more outlandish prizes is dressing up as the umpire and calling a baller strike on the ceremonial first pitch. We're still waiting on someone to redeem that.
Isn't there one you can hang out in the photo pit for like an inning
You
or
can
something?
hang out. We've had someone redeem that already. Yep. They'll be there on July 4th, which I'm sure will be a great photo opportunity for them. So you can hang out in the photo pit. You can be a sideline reporter down there with our broadcast team. So there's a lot of cool things that are on that list.
With those different rewards that are for the different experiences, do fans get to choose which game to do that for, or is it randomly selected for them?
So for most of them, you can choose which game it is. There are a few where we have to coordinate with all of our different departments to make sure that it works for everybody. But for the most part, we are catering to what you would like to do and what works for you and your family.
So run me through. I go to the team store. I buy a jacket and a hat. What is my process of getting my points? How do I do that?
Yeah. So if you're getting that jacket and the hat at the team store, from there you'll bring your receipt up to our WooSox Rewards world headquarters like a tongue twister. And you're going to bring it up to the first place Concourse Plaza, which is by Country Bank Fan Services in Section 13. You're going to talk to our staff there, and it takes less than 2 minutes to give them your receipt. We'll look at the dollar amount that you spent. We go into our system, and we give you your points right there. Now, if you're buying something from concessions, we have it a little more automated for you. You will go up to the cashier, you tell them what you want, and then before you check out with your card or cash, or no, we're cashless actually, so before you check out with your card, you'll present your WooSox Rewards app to them, and they will scan a QR code that is attached to your individual account, and the points will load right into your account in, let's say, 5 minutes. So it's pretty seamless, and it works well.
Now, I know you guys are both, very well involved with just any kind of overall aspect to this place. When we were talking, when we had Alex Richardson on, we were talking how you were in the battle balls last year.
Yeah.
And you got pretty roughed up by Alex. I was wondering, Jordan, if you stepped into the battle balls at all for the in-game promotion.
I have been in the battle balls once, and I believe I won. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Is that can a fan get into the battle balls? I'm just kidding. I asked that question. I know the answer. I think it's a little bit of a liability, little bit of a liability issue. I don't know if you haven't seen it. Is as Ben DeCastro calls the best mid-inning promotion in all of minor league sports, when we get 3 WooSox employees into the battle balls, big inflatable balls, and then they just go at it, and it ends up being some pretty awesome, on-field antics.
I'm pretty sure I've seen George on his back.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Have you got to redeem yourself yet?
Here's the thing. He's lying. Alex is lying.
How is he lying?
All right, because you can ask any usher in this ballpark. When me and Alex did battle balls, and there's a video of this, yes, I ended up on my back. But I got him back at the end. He had a sore back for 2 days. It was on a Saturday, and then the next day, he was in fan services the entire game because he couldn't walk around the park.
Let's break it down for fans, because all of us have been in what we've called a dog meeting. A dog meeting is a day of game meeting. So every single time that the WooSox play here at Polar Park, prior to the game, a lot of the times it's 6 hours, 7 hours before the game, we will have our day of game meeting, where we sit down with all of the front office in the boardroom, and we will go over essentially every single thing that's happening in the game. It starts off by Brooke, or whoever's leading the meeting, by saying, okay, the Worcester Red Sox are playing the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs today. The weather is this. We have an expected attendance of this, expected turnstile, and we go through all these different things. So in that meeting, we'll start with you, George. What is your responsibility in that day of game meeting?
Yep. So as a marketing representative, and when we're during games, I also oversee all radio communication, plus fan services, plus I help assist supervising the ushers. My thing is, from a marketing standpoint, say it's a town takeover day. I'm in charge of basically making sure all of our pregame participants are all set, ready to go. So that goes from like the national anthem singer, who's doing our ceremonial first pitches, right? Who's our play ball kids, who's bringing the game ball to the mound, and making sure everybody in that meeting knows, oh, these are our participants, giving a little bit of information about them, and I know Jordan could speak on this for, Heritage games and Wetbuzz games. But specifically for those town takeover days, making sure everybody in our meeting knows this is what's happening for pregame ceremonies. And then anything that's happening around the ballpark from an operational or fan experience perspective, I need to know that information so I can make sure every person from our game day staff, ushers, ambassadors, security, ticket takers, mascots, etc., that they know what is going on in the park. So if there's like whoever's in Taste of Worcester, right? If it's Woo Juice, making sure that the ushers know, all right, this is what Woo Juice has, this is what they're selling, because fans are going to ask them questions. Or if it's a doubleheader, we're playing the play 40 minutes after game one ends, making sure the ushers know, all right, this is what we're expecting when game two of the doubleheader. So making sure everything from a game day operation standpoint, I know, so I can communicate to everybody else. That's very important. So it's like a double-sided coin, marketing and game day operation for me. But I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I think that's another really awesome part about Polar Park. We get so many compliments on how friendly our staff is and how informative our staff is and how helpful they are. And that's one of the things is we kind of want this to be almost like a guided experience where you walk in the door, and if you don't know where your seats are, or the first thing you want to do is you want a Coney Island hot dog when you come in. Every single one of our ambassadors, ushers, people around the park, security, whoever, the production staff, front office staff, we want to be able to help out that fan and give that fan the best experience possible. And a lot of that comes just from the communication from your team, and then the interconnected communication during a game, from radio to being able to make sure that every fan feels as safe as they possibly can. Our security hotline, our security team will respond in seconds if there is something where a fan is uncomfortable or a fan doesn't appreciate something that's happening there. We can text the security hotline, and security will be there in a moment to be able to help you out. And that will all go over your radio communication, so you're able to hear that all as it's happening. So Jordan, George brought up a little bit, the Heritage Days, WAPA's games. I know you have a lot to do on those side of things. Just give me a little run through on that, and specifically talking about the WAPA's board in that committee and how those nights get planned out.
Yeah, for sure. So starting off with our WAPA's advisory committee, it's a group of about 10 to 12 members of Latin business owners and community leaders, mostly from Worcester, who help us get in touch with the community and pull together a lot of our aspects of our pregame ceremonies. And the president of the Latin American Business Organization, Elizabeth Cruz, will coordinate with me all of the participants, and then I will go in and make sure that they're all submitted into our dog sheet and coordinate contact information with them and make sure that they know when to come to the ballpark and make sure that they're set up with their tickets and basically, as you said, a guided experience and making sure that they're able to get here and be comfortable and set up, and we just help them get down onto the field, and then they do their thing for the pregame ceremonies. So during the dog meeting, as George alluded to, on these WAPA's games and these Heritage Nights, I will go through everybody that we have involved, whether that be a special dance performance or the Puerto Rican national anthem prior to a game.
How long is it?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. He has to know all that information.
I have to know all of that. Yep. Like for example, Albanian Heritage Night, where we sold food out of concession 1. It's on me to know exactly what's being sold and what the price of what that is and the quantity of what's being sold. Or for Irish Heritage Night, we did a really cool procession with over 100 people, came from right down the street on Fiddler's Green. So coordinating that operation with security and ticket takers and the productions team to make sure that we have, a camera guy set up so we're able to capture the video and the photos from that. So just making sure that, as George said again, making sure that all departments are aware of what's going on for these nights and these games.
And so I think one of the things, Dave currently wearing the WAPA hat right now.
My favorite hat.
I
love the WAPA nights.
It's
They're
a
my
great
favorite
logo,
nights. The
too.
music, the food, just like the overall ambiance of it all.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I still remember, so my first season here was 2021. I did not have the privilege of being with the team for the WooSox years, but Alex Richardson, I see him walking up the stairs, and he gives us. I'd never met him before, but I knew that he was, front office, and he was. And at that point, I was wide-eyed about everything. Be like, oh yeah, I'll listen to anything. And he goes, you want to see something cool? And I'm like, yeah.
Classic Alex.
Yeah,
Classic
right?
Alex.
Yeah.
Whenever he sees anyone, you want to see something cool.
Want to see something cool? But he brought out the WAPA hat, and he showed me it was the first iteration of the WAPA's hat, or I think like the confirmed, and it was the rockets and everything. And I was just like blown away. I was like, oh, that's so cool. And at that time, I didn't really know what that meant, like what it really meant. But so, I mean, it's become like a really big part of our team. I think in 2021, we were considered the winners of the Copa.
Yes.
I forget what the full name of it, Copa.
Copa de la Diversión, which stands for Fun Cup in
Fun
English.
Cup. Yeah, and so we were the winners of that. We could still see, we still have the signage up in the dugouts right now. But as fans will notice, this year's WAPA's jerseys have changed. We've got like the white ones, and I think they look amazing.
Yeah.
So run me through that process. Did you guys have any say in that, or did you? Because I mean, come on, what's cooler than designing a jersey? That's like going back into MLB The Show and creating your own team and stuff. It's like you get to do that in real life.
Right. Unfortunately, no, we didn't get any involvement in that process. I think that was mostly, let's say, Courtney and Brooke and the upper management from MILB and such. But I do think it's a great jersey, and I'm ready to see it out on the field. And
I do have a theory on that, though. So
it's a theory about everything.
I have a theory. All right. So I guess I can kind of take credit for this. So if you guys remember last year on our our Marvel Defender of the Diamond Day, we had the Black Panther jerseys, right? And I can kind of admit I kind of roped some people into voting for the Black Panther jerseys.
It was all you talked about for, I think, a month.
You remember that, right? I was like, and plus, Black Panther 2, part of the movie was filmed here in Worcester on Chandler Street. And, being a person of color, I thought it would be really cool for us to wear those jerseys. Those things are sick. And it came down to Black Panther and Captain America. And if you guys saw the Captain America jersey, it has the same color scheme as the WEPA's jersey. And there was a lot of people in the front office that were going up against me saying, no, the Captain America ones look better. It matches more with the WooSox colors, right? But the Black Panther jerseys won. We won't get into any of those other,
politics.
Yeah, but they won. So my theory is when I first saw the new WEPA's jerseys, as clean as they are, I'm like, they look so much like what the Captain America jerseys were. So I feel like behind the scenes, they're like, all right, we didn't get the Captain America Marvel jerseys, so let's just turn the design into the new WEPA's jerseys. They're clean, though, but I'm just saying.
To help out with your theory, if this might provide some kind of context, I know in Pawtucket, when we were the Osos Pilates State Pawtucket, it was a very similar color scheme to what the white WAPA jerseys now, because they had more of a gray/white kind of front face to it with the logo on the chest, kind of like now they have with Los WAPAs. So if you were there in Pawtucket and McCoy and you remember those nights, Los WAPA's nights may kind of look a little familiar now if you remember those nights as well. And also the logo had the same kind of, colorway as well with the red, white, and the blue and the way it was all mixed up together. So if you want to add that to your theory.
Oh, no, I 100% will.
Now, not every single, if I'm correct, not every single team in AAA baseball gets to have these alternate jerseys. So can you run me through, either one of you, what is that process? Why was Worcester selected as one of those teams for the WAPA's jerseys?
Yeah, so not every team is a part of the initiative, and I think that it comes down to the community that's around you and how you're able to market to those communities. So minor league baseball launched the Copa initiative, I believe, in 2021, and we signed up as a participant because there is a large Latin community, not only in Worcester, but in different towns. Framingham, for example, has the largest concentration of Brazilians in the United States. So we saw it as a great opportunity to get involved there and really just touch on a different demographic and pull in people to come into the ballpark and celebrate their cultures and traditions.
I mean, yeah, and you can see how much people take to it, and it is one of those things where we really do try to you know create that environment where a non-native English speaker can come to the game and really feel at home and feel represented when instead of WooSox on the scoreboard, it says Wape Us, or just even from and you look at the demographic of our players. I mean, they have to love the fact that they're doing. I know that I think it was Flo or pitching coach or hitting coach, right? Flo.
Jose Flores.
Yeah, he on our media day. Our media day, everyone took headshots, and Flo was like, took one headshot with the red Worcester WooSox hat, and then he was like, nope, hold on, puts on the WAPA hat. He's like, I want another one with the WAPA hat, and you could just show like that stuff means a lot to the team, to the player, to the community, and I would say you see WAPA gear almost as much as you see just the regular WooSox gear out there, which I know Susie down in the team store loves being able to add more stuff onto her shelves.
It's my favorite hat that I wear to work.
And so, and it's also a conversation starter. You look at it, you're like, oh, what is that? And you realize that, it's talking back to, it's 508's built into it. It's talking about the Rockets of, Auburn Rockets, all those type of things that are all built into it. So, to me, I think it's like one of the coolest aspects of the team. And when you see them take the field in their Way Plus jerseys, it's like, woo, okay, this is good. It's like a nice, and but yeah, so in addition to those type of things, what are just in general, like I'll start with you, George, what is one of your favorite aspects about being able to work for the WooSox? And I'm going to eliminate game days because I know you are heavily involved in the community.
Yeah. One of my favorite things really is it's my title, but the fan engagement side is really because growing up as a sports fan, especially a Boston sports fan, I was the biggest Manny Ramirez fan growing up. I cried the day he got traded to the Dodgers, and then not seeing him on the Red Sox anymore. And
the Red Sox are still paying him. on the deferred contract.
Ooh. Wow, that's cool. I actually have if you go to my cubicle, you'll see Manny Ramirez baseball cards and his bobblehead all over the place. And I think about those memories. Like I was there when he hit the grand slam against the Angels in the ALDS in 2007. Yeah, one of my favorite sports images of all time. And I think about what those memories and those experiences were to me, and being able to provide that to other people is just a whole nother level. No matter if it's going to the community and being able to, offer tickets to a fan through an auction, or being able to see someone that's having a bad day and then being talking to them and being like, hey, giving them a smiley sticker, or being like, hey, we'll do this, have you be our junior announcer for a future game, right? That's stuff that, sometimes happen behind the scene that people never get to see, but I get to leave here at the end of the day and be like, I made that person feel better. And, that's what it's all about, because we have the power to transform lives through sports. And some people don't think that's, sometimes people just watch their sports and they're, sports to them. But to me, sports brings people together. It brings positivity. It brings, impact and influence. And we have the job, we have a job, and we have the ability to really, make people feel better about themselves. No matter if you're having a bad day at work or something's not going right in your personal life or whatever. When you enter into those doors, we want all those stuff to, go away, at least for a couple hours, no matter if that's having a Coney Island hot dog or having a, a nice cold beverage, we have the ability, just through our smiles, our communication, our mannerisms, to really, take someone from having a bad day to a good day, or maybe a better day, or someone having a great day to having a day that they can say is one of the best days of their life, something that they're going to remember for years and years to come. The same way I felt about watching Manny hit that home run, and the impact it has to me to this day. I get to see that through, other kids that have amazing days here, and it really makes me feel good about what I get to do every single day.
Pretty incredible answer. Jordan, follow that one up.
About to tear up over here, man.
I hope I'll be able to follow that up. But no, it's actually pretty similar to what George just said. And so I've played baseball. Baseball is my first sport. I've played it my whole life. And my first time stepping on a baseball field was in Queens. It was a T-ball league, HBQVB. I'll never forget that. And Queens, New York is a very diverse neighborhood. And then I moved out to Long Island and went to Catholic high school and played in the private Catholic high school league, where I was, one of the very few people of color in my school, and definitely one of the very few people of color in the baseball team and in the league as general. So those experiences have really guided me towards enjoying what I do here in terms of turning Polar Park into a gathering place for different demographics and just the community in general. It means a lot to me to see people who may have never been to a baseball game or interested in baseball, but not knowing that there's people that look like them or speak the same language with them who are also baseball fans. So when you come here and you see the smile on their faces when they sing the national anthem from their country, or they have food from back home, it makes them feel at home. And this place really becomes a gathering spot for that, and not only in baseball but in our events and our community outreach as well. And just going to like business events and things like that, and just talking to people and letting them know that we're here for you, and there are people that look like you who love the WooSox and love the game of baseball, and they would be more than willing to invite you into this family, this WooSox family, this Way Plus family. And we'll be that place for hopefully decades and centuries to come. And that's what I love about my job, and I get to be creative in the ways that we approach that. One, on the marketing side, but two, in terms of getting out in the community and just speaking with people and seeing what it would look like, a successful night for them, in terms of celebrating their culture, celebrating their tradition. So it means a lot to me to see them appreciate that representation for them. I've seen tears of joy come down people's faces when their national anthem is sing, and that is the moment where it hits you right here, and you never forget that. So that's really touching, and that's why I love my job here.
I mean, those are two great answers that just really exemplify just how it's much more than baseball, especially at our level, where it's not the in nationwide fame and fortune and everything else. It's just all about being in the moment and taking pride in what you do, and just giving people just that extra little something that gets them through the day or makes their day or becomes one of those memories like you guys both talked about. And before we wrap up, just wanted to add how I think all of that really adds to how Polar Park won the vote for best minor league ballpark in America over the past couple weeks. AAA. Best AAA ballpark.
I'm
in
sure
America.
we'd win for all of it too.
Yeah.
It's just speculative. But
And Fenway just won best sports facility.
Woof.
I saw that this morning. Yeah.
Sports Business Journal too.
Look at us.
So my question is, with all these great things going on, we're the best AAA ballpark. When are you two going to be facing each other in the best in-game promotion that we have with battle balls? When are we going to see George Lorin versus Jordan Sealey-Ashford?
Can't get away from
He
it.
doesn't want the smoke, honestly.
Stop
I
it.
need that. I don't even want a third battle ball out there. Just you two. You two. Still have the three kids. Make sure they're involved in watching out there and they get their shirt and everything. But we need you two just 10 yards each, Western style. Both turn around on the count of three. You turn around and you run, like an Oklahoma drill.
Let's do it. Here's my thing, okay? Here's my thing. I haven't done battle balls this year because there's only one thing I dislike about battle balls. It's not even the pain. It's just the dirt. It's just the dirt. One thing it's
on the grass, everybody.
Yeah, if we were to do behind the scenes, when you go back into the tunnel and you see the amount of dirt, I don't know if it comes from the ball itself or whatever, but I pride myself on, when I'm here, I kind of like to look good. when I'm walking around the ballpark, you know? And I did battle ball so many times. It was so many times I would walk out and I'm walking around the park with the dust on me, and it just bothers me in the head. I'm not going to show that to the fans or anything, but it just bothers me. That's why I haven't done it, Of course, if I get a call from Mariana saying we need people for battle balls, I'm always there, And, of course, if this clown, wants to work,
It's already got the fighting words before it. I haven't suited up yet.
Like, if he really wants it, we can run it. Like, no problem. You want to play the Rocky music or anything like that? Sure. There's only one way it's going to end, with him on his butt. But,
Wow.
It's like a UFC presser right here.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that the prerequisite for your next visit to WooSox Insider will be that both of you have challenged each other in battle balls and that we have a clip to be able to show right here.
100%.
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's
We
do it.
do it on Tuesdays.
I should know the answer to that question. I think we do. But we'll figure out. We'll
get
a
it
time.
done.
I think we'll get it done.
We'll
Our
get
next
it in,
game
yeah.
is Tuesday, June 6th, so I'll be there. I don't know if George will be there, though.
I will
Called out.
100% be
Jordan's
there.
picking the date
Called
right
out.
now.
Wow, you heard it here first.
3 p.m. at the flagpole, George.
Yeah, the flagpole.
Goodness.
Gates are not open yet, but okay.
Well, guys, this has really been awesome. Thank you very much for joining us on this. I think it gave us a really good insight on, just the backgrounds of what both of you do, and then also just the insight into how much we as employees really do care, like at the WooSox, and how much we are aware of how much impact that we can have, and that. And I agree with you so much on both of those aspects that. My favorite part of my job is being able to make fans happy. I wave to a fan outside of the control room, and the little kid's like, "Whoa!" And it's like, I'm no one, but I'm able to wave at them. I'm able to, or just toss them a ball or something like that, or take a song suggestion or whatever it is, and that those tiny little things in our life are massive impacts, like you said, and I can still think about times that an ambassador at Fenway gave me like a little pennant, and I had that hanging up in my room for the longest time ever. And, it's those, again, tiny little things that, don't cost us anything, don't, really take a lot of effort from us, but it's enough to really make an impact on people's lives. And, I think that's what here at the WooSox we do really well, and you two exemplify that to the best of it. So once again, George and Jordan, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so hopefully the next time that we schedule one of these, both of you will be rested up, iced up, healed up from your battle balls experience. But yeah, once again, thank you guys. And for WooSox Insider, I am Brendan Black. He's Dave Leonardi. The WooSox are back in town June 6th, and then that starts our summer games. And we will have warm weather, we will have great baseball, and we'll have great activities here at Polar Park.
And where can fans get tickets?
WooSox.com.
And
Or what number, Jordan?
508
it's a good start.
888
No.
508 500
500
1000.
I had
Extension 1.
100.
Nailed it.